Speedrunning is insanely fun. Whether you're watching someone finish an impossible game in less time than it took for you to get ready for work this morning, or you're trying to perfect a few runs of your own, this raw satisfaction of speed has a wonderful habit of invigorating one's love of everything video games. This is the core reason I savor every second I can get of events like AGDQ and SGDQ. Even if said events have noticeably declined in quality over the years due to a stagnant muster of corporate overhead. But let's take a look below the surface of this niche pastime. How does speedrunning change the way games are perceived, both in the eyes of speedrunners and for gaming as a whole? One of my favorite games ever is Insomniac's Spyro 2. If you don't already know, this is a wonderful 3D platforming gem that builds exceptionally well on what its predecessor established. The controls are tighter, the technical abilities of the PlayStation are pushed further, and the game can feel far meatier due to more cutscenes and minigames than the original. I personally don't find the sequel to be as aesthetically pleasing as Spyro 1, but that's so subjective it's almost pointless mentioning. So why is this one of my favorite games then? Because speedrunning completely changed its gameplay forever. See, this game has a weird little quirk where if you hold the X button, wait to hit the top of your jump, and then hold the square button along with the X button, making sure not to touch the analog stick or D-pad, you'll do what is referred to as a double jump. This is really easy to do. Mastering its effectiveness can be extremely tricky, but even in its most basic form, this new ability can easily take you right out of bounds, even within the first level. For people who have fond memories of the game like myself, learning of this trick will likely change the way you play Spyro 2 forever. And that's just an example of a good game taken to greater heights. What about a game that has an extremely negative perception? Can these speedrun tricks really make something that awful into a masterpiece of game design? Well, perhaps not, but they can certainly try. Take this SGDQ 2016 run of Sonic 06 by Triple Agent. A link will be in the description for the extremely fun YouTube archive. Agent immediately proclaims that while this game may have the rightful ire of any human being brave enough to play it casually, it can still be an excellent game for speedrunning.
To address the elephant in the room, though, yes, this game is bad casually, but as a speedrun, surprisingly very consistent, no RNG, really cool tricks, and yeah, a lot of the problems that this game has casually disappear in a speedrun setting. Because all of the problems that this game has is more like telling you where to go and, you know, having you fall through the floor at random spots. But if you know where those random spots are in advance...
They're not so random.
Yeah, it turns out they're very consistently random spots.
The question remains, however, how valuable is this opinion? Most of the people who play games will never even think of playing them as fast as possible, and therefore will never experience what could possibly be the most fun way of enjoying certain games. But for the ones who are willing to give it a shot, even learning a few simple tricks can wildly change the perception of what makes an experience worthwhile. This idea can be expanded further outside of speedrunning by simply trying games in different ways. If, for example, you tried playing Dark Souls for the first time and chose to play as the Deprived class, you might rage quit life for a few days after being stomped by the Asylum Demon a half dozen times in a row. I fucking rolled. This is bullshit. Come on, you fat bastard. Fucking stab your parents, dog. You son of a bitch. Fuck this, dude. I give up. But if you then recovered from your near-hollow butthurt vessel you call humanity, and chose to play the Wanderer, for example, equipped with a bunch of black firebombs, you'd probably feel an immense sense of relief after cheesing that fat bastard faster than you could reach for your Mountain Dew-drenched Doritos. Fuck, dude. Shit. Dropped it. Yeah. The point is, if you don't like a game at first, perhaps looking at it in a different light will give you a fresh perspective. Although I've likely spent well over 300 hours of my life trying to do this with Dark Souls 2, to almost no avail at all. And with that, I'll have to call it a night. I need sleep. Help. If you hit that subscribe button, maybe you'll transfer your energy to me, or comment what you think of my video down below, or share the video with people you think would enjoy, or just feed me money on Patreon. That'd be wonderful. Links are in the description. Wink, wink.